gentlemen.
You gonna fall out that chair.
You like that though?
You gonna fall out that chair, bro.
I ain't gonna fall out the chair. I ain't gonna fall.
You are. You gonna fall out the chair.
I ain't gonna fall out the chair. It's just my little routine for right now. Go off the camera, back into the camera, like a little visual effect, like I'm leaving.
But like you got attacked by clothes and then came back in.
I mean, tomato. All right. How about that?
Okay, tomato.
What's going on with you, y'all? You doing all right?
I'm all right. Tired, working out again. So, my body's like, what we doing?
Right.
Have several seats. Yeah, trying new classes. I have a trainer. I finished my training session like earlier today. But we're going to switch my training sessions up to mornings because I just feel like I can get more out of my training sessions in the morning because I have the energy. At 5:00, bruh, I be disappointed in myself in my workouts. I be really disappointed. I be like, I can do better than this. I don't know why I can't do this. I really be feeling bad. He was like, well, you're pushing as hard as you can. I was like, but I know I can push harder.
Oh my God, yo.
I'm dead serious. I'm so sorry I let you down.
I'm a pretty good like afternoon workout guy. I'm pretty good. The only thing is you're gonna get my best 35 to 40 minutes. It's gonna be a great 35 to 40 minutes, but anything after that, it's terrible. It's terrible. So it's got to be the most focused amount of time ever.
Yeah,
I can do it, but it ain't gonna. We just got to be on deck. But other than that, I do. Doing all right? You good?
Yeah, I'm good though. I'm good.
That's good. So I got a jab.
Okay.
This was a little bit of hangover from. I'm gonna say hangover. If you remember from last week, I had put this one in the bank. In the escrow account. I was gonna hold it over until I wanted to use it. And just because I experienced it a little bit more today, I'm going to go ahead and bring it all out because I'm incredibly frustrated by it. And you know me, if I don't talk about it, get it off my chest, I might do something.
Okay.
I might do something bad. And I don't want to do that. So I need everybody that likes to drive and slowly approach the red light and stop with about 30 feet.
A whole car length? Yeah, that pisses
yeah.
me off. That pisses me off. I'll be like, bro, what? You can transfer a truck in between this space.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how bad it frustrates me, Yos. Because for one, so it's you got two types of them. You got the ones that they hang back and they just sit there and they leave all this space and they don't even move up. You got those. That's already frustrating in itself because I'm like, bro, why are you so far back? What's going on? And I'm that asshole that will absolutely, if possible, I will go around and then try to squeeze my car in between that space. I've done it several times, just to prove a point.
Well,
just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, the second, I guess the other population within that group is the ones. Those are the ones that really infuriate me because they will slowly creep up and close the space. So it's you're approaching the red light. There may be however many cars that's already stopped, and then they'll stop about 30 feet away, and then they'll just slowly creep, and then they'll stop and slowly creep, and then they'll stop and slowly creep, and then they'll stop. And it gets on my nerves so bad. You want to know why, Yos?
Why is that?
Because my car is not an automatic transmission.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
Because in an automatic, you can just take your foot off the brake. The car is going to move a little bit. Probably just like their car is doing.
Yeah.
No, not me. I got to put a foot on the clutch, put the shit in first gear, give it a little bit of gas, let off the clutch, and then they stop. Then I got to put the foot on the brake and then let off the clutch, and then put the shit back in neutral. And then I got to, when they start moving again, I got to put the shit back in the clutch, put the clutch in, put it back first, keep a little bit of gas, let off. It's annoying as hell. It's annoying as hell. It's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's even worse after leg day. I promise you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, I mean, I like, I want to just, I'm not lying. Like, I want to get like some, not even name brand, like some great value brand flour. Yeah. Flour. That's what I want. Not powder. I want flour. And I just want to pour it in my hand. And I mean, I just want to come across the side of their face just so hard. Just, wow.
Oh, you want to slap them like that? You want it? What's it? The pimp slap?
Yeah. I think if you use flour, it's gonna leave a better mark than powder.
Yeah.
Powder is just gonna make it look like ash. It's like you got an ashy face. No, I want flour. I want people to think that I was frying chicken and I had to smack the shit out of you.
Oh my God.
That's how frustrated I am. So for all of you out there that like to stop at the red light 30 feet in between you and the next car, and then you like to just creep up and creep and stop and creep up and creep and stop and creep up and creep and stop and creep up and creep and stop. I need all for you to come to the front of the classroom where you will relax your shoulders and keep your head up and accept this jab to the back of the throat. Appreciate you.
Do you feel better?
Absolutely. You know it. You know it. I feel like I just hit the blunt.
Wow. Well, all right.
So, yo's. What's on the agenda for the day?
We get to talk about the great hack.
Try that again. All right. The Great Hack, yes, because we told y'all last week.
Yep. It is a documentary on Netflix. It'll probably start getting buzz. I'm slowly starting to see, because I did the hashtag The Great Hack on Twitter to see. Mm-hmm. It's slowly starting to seep into Black Twitter. Black Twitter ain't got a hold to it yet though. But it'll grow. It'll probably have as much steam as what was it? What the Health and stuff like that.
What the Health was. Man.
Yeah, but The Great Hack is another one of those eye openers where I don't. I don't know how you like. What the Health you could fix the situation. The Great Hack is like there's no solution yet because it's just not a solution yet.
You almost got to like change your way of life.
Yeah, which is going to be difficult being that society, everybody's attached to their phone and social media. So, okay, because I put Jock onto this. I think I was on Netflix and I was like, The Great Hack, they do the little preview before when you're about to go into your Netflix stuff. So that's when I just watched the preview and I was like, because I'm in digital media. Like that's what, my side hustle is, digital media, graphic design. And then even with our stuff, digital marketing, all of our stuff that we post on Instagram. And even like, it's so crazy. The one thing that I hate about making a business page for Instagram, they make you open up a business page for Facebook. I say that because in the center of this documentary is the infamous Facebook, along with another company we're going to talk about. But at the end of the day, Facebook, which I hate. The only reason why I even keep my Facebook is because I'm senior class president, and that's the only way I can technically keep up with like a good 90% of my classmates, because most of them are all on Facebook. That's it. If I did not have that responsibility, I would have deleted my Facebook account years ago. But so the Great Hack, it's talking about data, particularly everybody's data in the world. And the main guy starts out, he's pretty much suing a company called Cambridge Analytica for his data that they used in the Trump campaign. Yes, Trump.
Right.
Everybody thinks it's just Russia. No, we're going to talk about something that's a whole lot closer to home that ain't got shit to do with Russia. So that's one part of it. So he went to Britain because Cambridge Analytica is in Britain to sue to get his data. He was like, well, how did you get my data? Can I have my data? It was, how did you get my data? Can I have my data? Where did it come from? And where did you send it to? Like, who did you give it to? So just 4 questions. And then the other part is, as he's uncovering that, there was a whistleblower from Cambridge Analytica that started the snowball effect of the investigation into Cambridge Analytica, what the company actually does and what has happened. And we about to dive into that because, as it stated, because I got notes.
And I feel like Homegirl was I don't know. I want to.
So Brittany Kaiser, you talking about Brittany Kaiser?
Say it again.
Brittany Kaiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stuck between sellout and sellout. I don't know. Maybe not sellout, but I don't know. I'm stuck between like what's the best adjective to describe her. I can say though, I'm glad, ultimately she came to her senses somewhat. But
yeah, I think she got called out because there was a whistleblower, the guy.
Homeboy with the, what was it, like red hair or something like that.
So he worked with them, and then he said Brittany Kaiser's who you need to talk to. So I guess when her name got put out there, it was kind of like, it's time to just come clean.
Yeah.
And this didn't just start with the Trump administration. Like, this shit goes so far back, it's freaking ridiculous. It's the key players in this. So let's take a step back. So when we say data and data mining, right now, and in the documentary and on different CNN segments and stuff, data is the most expensive asset on the entire planet right now.
Bypassed gold,
bypassed oil, everything.
The
most expensive thing, which means the Facebooks are selling it to the Amazons are selling it to the Googles are selling it to whoever all these other data specialists or companies are. And what people don't know is it's all your data. Data means everything you fucking post on Facebook, Instagram, in your inbox.
Everything you're interested in, like your likes, what do they call them? The things that you select that you say that you're like your hobbies. There we go.
Yep. And I think the biggest thing is how it all started was, of course, with Facebook, but the little personality test, and apps we all take and stuff to, see different stuff. All that information you're putting into those little fun apps, they're scraping your data and everybody that's on your fucking friends list. So even if I don't do shit on Facebook, if one of my friends that I'm friends with does one of those personality tests, they're going to pull all your information plus everybody on your list and get all their personal information. When they was born, when their daddy died, how their daddy died, when their grandmas passed, their ancestry.com, all of it. All of it is free and fair game for any company to use.
And what's just knowing like that little snippet of information right there are a lot of people that you can manipulate the crap out of them. I mean, just like, let me literally just take what you just said. You know what I mean? Like when you say like how their their father died, like how, you know what I'm saying? Like just even that, like their personality, and if they had a parent that died, how that parent died. You know what I mean? Like they can use, like you can actually use that to say, all right, well, this person died from, let's say this person died from like they were hit by a mass shooting, huh?
Right.
So let's take that. So let's just say they had a parent that died in that. So they're going to flood you with stuff about basically whoever whoever hired this company. The company will flood you with stuff that basically says, hey, this person is totally against, like, you know, mass shooters, and you know, they're all about gun laws and restricting like the gun laws and making sure that, you know, people, like, only very limited people are allowed to have, like, all that stuff. Like, they're going to do whatever's possible to create fake, not even real, bro. That's the part that gets me. They're going to do whatever's possible. And I saw the detail they went into. I mean, these were like commercials. It wasn't like pictures and like advertisements. These were like commercials. And they're going to like, they're going to use, and they're going to just, I think the way she said it was like the boomerang effect, where she was like, you send that data out, you send that information out there, and it's going to come back to you in the form of like messages and
ads. And so yeah, that whole, you know how everybody be like, man, you know, like, oh man, I really want some Krispy Kreme. Then you go on your Google or your app and you be like, there's a Krispy Kreme ad. Well, that's the whole point. So company like Cambridge Analytica, which is now non-existent because they lost the lawsuits and all that good stuff. But they literally they said they had, for every person that has a profile on Facebook, they have 5,000 data points for every person that was a voter in the Trump election, which means they can take that data, do an algorithm, and predict your behavior. So they know, like, oh, I like to work out. I've always been clicking on the Fabletics and personal trainers. So guess what? They're going to start sending me waist trainers and all this other stuff, because they're predicting through a mathematical algorithm my personality. And because they're able to do that, now they can persuade me, because they technically know how I'm gonna think by taking this algorithm and seeing my clicks and my strokes and whatever like that when I'm tapping on the phone. So yeah, so they're predicting. So pretty much everybody thinks, even last week when we were saying believe these movies, Terminator and whatnot, like robots, mathematics, numbers, data is predicting your mindset. That's why social media is horrible, because they're pretty much telling you what you gonna think next.
I remember, like, what's really funny is I was like, you know, like since I've been hitting up like all types of like job sites and looking into, like, I'm looking into a very specific area within a very specific industry, and to make myself a little bit, I guess, to cast a wider net. There we go. I started including a little bit of like the what do they call it, the analytics and data stuff like that. But just a little bit, just basically enough to where I can include those jobs to where they say, hey, this might be something that you may have to do. Right. Probably not gonna be the primary thing, but, you know, just to get more hits basically. And so, and I'm not being funny. 1 week later, I start seeing advertisements from like the Wharton School of Business and at Pennsylvania about like they have some type of certification program in data analytics. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this was very convenient how I've never once seen any ad for any type of analytics. And then as soon as I clicked one additional checkbox, like one additional box on LinkedIn, all of a sudden I start seeing these type of advertisements. It's insane.
And the thing is, and the one thing one of the guys said, he was like, because we don't read the terms and conditions. So literally that, you know how when we get on, you know, Instagram and it was like, you know, do you accept the terms? And we just click through it because we don't want to read it.
Oh yeah.
Technically, those terms and conditions are saying that they get to read, they have access to all your DMs. So you can imagine, like, whatever, all your DMs, they have a right to read whatever they want to read, take your pictures, do whatever the hell they want to do with it. Like, I don't think people realize, like, Instagram, all the pictures that you have, Instagram, you technically don't own those pictures when you upload them to Instagram anymore. They're very painful. So, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it, and you cannot sue them because that's their data now. It's a $1 trillion industry. Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp, and WhatsApp just had a breach as well.
Damn, did it?
Yeah, it did. They had a breach about 2 months ago.
Good Lord.
But that's the thing. So all of this happened. So all these data points. Now, mind you, the 5,000 data points that they received, that Cambridge Analytica came from Facebook. Facebook is the center of this. So I don't know if people paid attention to when Mark Zuckerberg had to go up against Congress to answer questions. Well, that's what this was all about. He was like, oh, I didn't know there was a breach and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not even on the fact that Cambridge Analytica got a hold to Facebook data. I'm on the fact that why the hell is Facebook just got all this fucking data? Like, why do you need this much data why do you need all this data for a person? And then they said that when it comes to campaigns or anything, Facebook is the #1 budget for ads for anything.
Yeah.
So again, Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp. So those same ads are going to Instagram and WhatsApp. So I just like, what the hell? So you don't own your data rights, because once we click the yes to terms and conditions, you're giving access to your data rights. So that's pretty much saying, like, here's my whole life in paper. Like when, back in the day when it was your Social Security card, everything was in paper. So imagine taking all the file of you and just handing it over for free. So y'all think about this, like this really makes you think, like, for people who be on like Pornhub or like the shit you look up, like truly think about it. Everything is being watched and recorded. Mm-hmm. And yes, they did admit to the whole fact of like the Google Home and Alexa, that shit is listening to your shit going on in the house. So if you argue with somebody, like, can you imagine having an argument, or you break up with your significant other, or talk about we getting a divorce, and then the next day you see lawyers for divorce on your Google feed? Come on, that's crazy.
And people gonna look at that as, well, this is God telling me the time is perfect.
Right. When in actuality, they listening to everything and they saving it, and nothing can be deleted. Like, you can delete that shit off of Twitter and Facebook all you want to. That's why people be like, my baby daddy this, and they be all on Instagram telling their business and Facebook telling their business. I'm like, bruh. That's why I don't like I have hated Facebook for freaking a decade. Like, I'm not even lying to you. And this is more reason why I hate it. Hate it.
Like, people, I don't go on Facebook at all. And I'm not even gonna I'll be completely honest, like, because I've been hit to this game for a while, as far as just knowing more about me than I want people to know. So I think at one point I had 3 Facebook profiles. I had one just because that was the first one I made, and then when I moved to Charlotte, I wanted to make just a brand new one, because I wanted to look at it as like a fresh start, like brand new. And I was hoping that at one point in time they would, you'll be able to kind of like merge the accounts. Never happened. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever, I'll just keep it. And then I got like frustrated one day. I think I made like a new one, and I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm done. I'm good with this one. So I know, like, I still keep 2 of them, and that's only because it's like I got friends from back home on one, and then friends from like law school and everything on another one. And so it's just like, it's a good way. It's all right. It's a decent way to keep up and everything. But what really gets me is that I'm looking at, I look at, like, just like you said, the type of advertisements I get and how I keep, it's almost like, okay, so let me see. So, okay, think of it this way. It's like I started to, in addition to maintaining 2 separate profiles, I also almost like acted, or I guess behaved in two different ways.
Mm.
So it's like I started looking up and researching certain things on one profile
Mm-hmm.
and looking up other things on another profile. So it's like fashion stuff, like jewelry and stuff like that is
Mm-hmm.
going to be on, like, you know, my older profile, and then on my newer profile I'm looking up stuff about like careers and stuff about like politics and you know, stuff like that. And I've noticed that it literally caters almost, it's damn near identical to exactly what you search for.
Yeah.
It's
It's an algorithm. It's just like, now me being in the tech world and having that mathematics background, it's an algorithm.
mm-hmm.
It's the Boolean expression. If this, then that.
right.
So if you're gonna click on, if you're clicking on watches
mm-hmm.
approximately 2 times in weekly, then here's the predictability that you're in the market for a particular watch that you really want. So we're going to start flooding you with the, you know, Fossil watch, smartwatch, because you looked at the Samsung watch and the Apple Watch, which are smartwatches. So here are now, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just numbers. It's literally predicting your next move. Like, robots are literally mathematics, and computers are controlling people's minds. And to sit here and say it doesn't, we have elections to fucking prove it.
Yeah.
Like, so she said, Brittany said she worked with the Obama campaign because, you know, the first term of Obama, he really did push social media. He was really the first president to push social media as far as ads. She did not admit to Obama administration using data, but technically you're still using ads for Facebook, so there's a chanceability. She then started working at Cambridge Analytica after Obama, but it was during the Brexit stuff. So Cambridge Analytica is behind Brexit, behind the Ted Cruz campaign, behind Trump.
They said Ted Cruz went from last to what, like damn near
behind Trump. Like, what?
Right.
But when they showed all the footprint, they said the Brazilian election, the Nelson Mandela election in South Africa. Like, this is not even, like, let's be real. This is not even just the United States. Cambridge Analytica focuses on elections, and they said their company is called the Behavior Change Company. Listen to that shit. So they take your data to change your fucking behavior, to influence people to be like, well, I don't really, the election, I don't know if I want Hillary or Trump. It's the lesser of two evils. They even have a name for people like that.
What was it, the persuadables or something like that?
Persuadables.
Yeah.
Oh, they can be persuaded. Let me start boom, 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 hitting them with these ads. Again, fake ads.
I remember she said they would target like a specific, let's say, I don't know, the state of I don't know, Wisconsin.
Yeah, because it's a swing state. They said they focused on the swing states.
Yeah, and they say, all right, so within this particular precinct, within the swing state, there happen to be 22,000 persuadables.
Yep.
So we're going to flood them with everything we want them to see. And from there, this state that was once blue is now about to turn red.
Yep.
That is crazy. First off, I will say, I kind of wish I had thought of the idea. Honestly, I would have used it for something else. No, definitely, I would have used it for something else. I mean, elections, that's...
but now it truly proves, though, because we're going to have the same thing that's about to come up with. We have 18 candidates for Democrats. Yeah. Whoever finally decides to be the presidential candidate that they're going to choose, it's still going to be a matter of, okay, well, you had a lot of Democrats. You had over 2 million Democrats that did not show up to the polls to vote. which really is the reason why Hillary didn't. But those are your persuadables. Oh, Hillary's not a good candidate, so you're just going to stay at home because it's not going to matter, right? So now, A, are the Democrats going to show up to the polls because we need the numbers?
Mm-hmm.
B, are you going to, if you're going to be on the fence, you can pretty much expect to have some fucking fake ads come through on Facebook and Instagram. Just saying, just to be like, right. Well, like, let's just say Cory Booker's the candidate. Well, Cory Booker's too clean cut. Cory Booker's gonna not, they're probably gonna come up with every fucking thing to try to throw him under the bus to be like, I'm just not gonna vote because it ain't gonna matter. Or they could use this could be a speaking point. Well, shit, it's not gonna matter. My vote's not gonna matter because they are, they're cheating and they're using this data to swing votes and swing states. So what's the point of me voting because my vote's not gonna matter? Because they could easily use that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are gonna be like, what? No, like that's the whole point. They're persuading you not to vote so they can elect Trump. When they said, was it Steve Bannon, who was Trump's, what was he on Trump? He was a staffer for Trump when he got elected. Steve Bannon,
something like, he
was the vice president of Cambridge Analytica. My God, dang.
Yeah.
The vice president of Cambridge Analytica was also like the chief of staff for Trump's administration. Come on, y'all. But yet still, technically, it wasn't Russia. It was Cambridge Analytica. All Russia did was infiltrate the fucking emails behind Hillary to help drive what Cambridge Analytica was selling with fake ads.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, my nigga. And they're in the United States. Their headquarters was in Britain at the time, but they're in the United States. And Cambridge Analytica just happened to want to take the fall. But on her presentation, she had about 10 other companies that do the exact same shit Cambridge Analytica does. So I'm just saying, like, people like, but soon it's going to start being, people suing because technically your data rights are your human rights. You need to treat your data like your social security number, like your debit card number, like everything. Like, everybody's going over to, the Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, all this shit. All your data. They tracking what you swipe for, what you buy, if you bought the Vicky's Secret or if you bought the Hanes. So we're going to start feeding you with
nothing.
Let me tell you something. I'm tired of seeing fucking Fabletics commercials. I got that. They all up my goddamn feed. I'm not buying no damn $60 gym wear. I'm going to fucking Target to get my gym wear. Ain't nobody got time to be paying $50 for no damn yoga pants.
Yo, did I tell you? Okay, so I was leaving work one day, and so this is something that iPhone does. I know a lot of the iPhoners out there. They know, like, once you get in the car, and I'm assuming once you get in the car and the phone, the Bluetooth connects to the car and realizes, you're in the car. Basically, it basically knows where you're going based on the time that you get into the car.
Yeah.
And it sends you, it'll show up a little notification that says X amount of minutes to home or X amount of minutes to work or something like that. So I think I might have said this on the last episode. I can't remember, but I remember I got in the car one day and it literally said such and such. I think it said like 19 minutes to Quick Trip gas station because I was stopped. And it wasn't even like a every single day kind of thing. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 times a week kind of thing. But it was enough for the phone to figure out, or for somebody to figure out, that because I stopped at that particular gas station, that specific gas station, that's basically more than likely, it's just giving me a heads up. It's like how long it's going to take me to get there. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, that's a bit much. Because
pause.
You all right?
I got somebody at the door.
And we're back.
Quick commercial break.
quick commercial break after someone visit us. Okay.
But I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like this. It hurt my heart though when I found out they was doing like the elections, like Nelson Mandela though. Like he didn't really get elected fairly. Like I got questions, Sway. I got questions. When I tell you, when they started showing the elections, like for the past, and they've been doing this for years. Like when they showed Nelson, I was like, oh God, not South Africa. they cheated to get him here. Like,
you know what?
Online, I'm like, what the hell?
I'm trying, like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna hold on to like the ignorance is bliss train, and I'm just gonna say, you know, when he got elected, I mean, there weren't that many Facebook users in that area at the time.
Facebook, you gotta think, Facebook had been out for a minute though.
Yeah, I remember I got on Facebook in 05. I think 05. Back when it was only for college.
Even like let's subtract Facebook. They was there. That's not the only place they were getting data. So like,
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it could have been other places older than Facebook doing the same shit. Like that's why like data scientists, that career is booming right now because that's how everybody's collecting everything from the banks and everything. So
if you know what's is it SQL or SQL, whatever, I feel like if you know, like if you're certified in that, you're unstoppable. Because I mean, one thing I learned from Excel, just Microsoft Excel and spreadsheets and stuff, and once I learned how to like put together pivot tables and everything, like you can literally, I'm not being funny, you can literally take data and shape it into whatever story you're trying to tell. I remember I used that. I don't want nobody using this against me. All right, subscribers, I'm listening to you. All right, let's keep this confidential. All right, but I remember I think I had just got a promotion. I think I had been in maybe like 3 weeks, like 3.5 weeks or whatever. And I'm just doing one of those things, you know, try to reassure them that they made the right decision type of thing with hiring me. And so I remember I was able to, like, one of the department heads showed me how to pull all of the data from the main program everybody was using and how to pull that directly into a spreadsheet. And from there, I was able to, like, you know, subtract, you know, basically filter it out to say, all right, you know, generally our most productive days are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for whatever reason. And also from this, you know, from this hour to this hour. So, and I noticed that we're not doing it. So, I mean, I was literally able to like make a presentation to the SVP of the department and basically say, hey, you know, I think that we should kind of change some of the business, you know, basically change a little bit about what we're doing, because this is when we're already getting the most level, you know, saying this is when we're the most productive. We're getting most, so I think we should kind of focus our efforts around this time. And I was able to pull all of that information from a freaking spreadsheet. Crazy. But it's like at the same time though, I could have changed the narrative to say, like for example, if I wanted to say that it would have been, it would have been a wise business decision for us to be off of work by 2 p.m. on Fridays. So it's like I could try to look at all the Fridays from, let's say, the past maybe 6 months to a year, and look at how productive were we versus the other days of the week from, let's say, 2 to 6 p.m. You know what I mean? It's like you can do all of that stuff with data, and it's like if all of that information is sitting right there, then you can tell whatever story you want. You can do whatever you want with it. And at the same time, that's what these companies are doing.
Yeah, like I said, I've been doing, that's pretty much my job has been since I graduated college. I've been manipulating data, doing reports, analyzing it, mining it in every facet. I still do it to this day. And it's like, of course, if you got one, and we call it a single source. If you got one single source where you can pull all this data and then, do your pivot tables, your access databases and stuff like that, and do some SQL, some SQL stuff, then cool. So now just to think, and like I said, I don't think I was surprised because like I said, I do this, it's like shit. Literally and I'm really looking at it like I do this. Like that's the whole thing. I do this for a living. So that's why I was like, digital media has been my thing. But I never thought of like the Instagram and the Facebook being a single source, single database where you can get all my information. You don't think about it in that way. But then when they brought it to the forefront, I'm like, shit. Yeah. And like I said, I don't put much, and I purposely don't put much, like I don't put where I work at on Facebook, I don't do, but when I think the biggest shocker was the fact that if someone in my friends list is doing these little pissy ass surveys, they can go and scrub my shit from Instagram and Facebook because I'm a friend of theirs. That's the shit that surprised me. That I was like, oh, that's bullshit. So because, John Doe over here agreed to terms, did this little survey, y'all pulling all my shit too? That, to me, that's when it becomes unethical. Like, I get it. If I'm dumb enough not to do the terms, do it. If I'm doing it myself, if I'm doing the survey, click through the terms and conditions and keep it moving, okay, then yeah, I'm technically giving you my data for free. But the fact that everybody on my friends list that I'm friends with, you're going and scraping my data, pseudo through someone else, bruh, that's when it becomes truly unethical at that point. Like, that's where it's like,
I didn't authorize it.
Right. Like I said, my classmates, I have my 20-year reunions next year. Some of these people I ain't seen in 20 years, but I'm friends with them just to say, hey, class reunion coming next year, blah, 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 blah. You telling me somebody I ain't seen, talked to in 20 years?
Hold on, yo.
Don't do that. We're not going to focus on the year. We're not going to focus on the year. Please don't do that. We're not going to focus on the years. Don't do that.
I swear, yo, I'm only laughing because you knew exactly where I was going.
Yes.
That's the only reason I'm laughing.
Dating myself. I don't give a shit. I'm a 80s baby. What? Anyway.
Oh my God, I'm tearing up over here. I promise y'all, I'm only laughing.
Class of 2000, graduating high school. I have my 15 year. This year is my 15th year in college. So yes.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I promise.
Don't do that. But what I was saying was really.
Woo! Man. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Let me breathe. Feel like I'm at a Kevin Hart concert. Okay, I'm good.
So you find it funny that I have a 20-year reunion next year?
No, it's not funny. I promise. It's not the funny part, yo. It's only because all I said was, hold up. You immediately said, don't do that. Don't do
that. Because look.
Okay.
Anyways, but what I was saying was, it's bullshit that my classmate that I ain't seen in 20 years potentially could clicked on something and they screen scraped my shit because they clicked on something and got all my information. Like, that's bull.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And as much as I'm still holding back the laughter from this joke, I'm good.
I don't care. 15 years from A&T is this year. 20 years from high school is next year. And I'm all right with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, yo.
It ain't. Because I don't look like my age.
No, you look 28.
I do. I've had so many people be like, oh, you just a baby? Oh, and I'll be like, oh my God, thank you. People be like, oh, so when you graduate college? Oh my God, thank wow.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
The
Like,
gallon of water a day is working.
I never tell people like my age, unless like even when somebody's like, "Well, oh my God, like how old are you?" I'm like, "How old do I look?" You'd be like, "Well, you look like you're about 28, 29." I'd be like, "It's pretty good guess." And then I'll just leave it at that. I still don't go into detail. So, as far as I'm concerned, I've been 27 for quite a while, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm 21. Okay.
Oh, 21. Oh, I'm sorry.
21.
My bad.
Anyways, but yeah, that's when it becomes unethical. And I think that's the reason why it's starting to be a huge topic, because you're truly getting unethical at this point. I mean, you scraping data from people who didn't even ask. Yeah, like you didn't authorize anything. And then again,
not even aware of it.
Question. Dude sued, he sued Cambridge Analytica because he was like, look, okay, you got my data. What do you have? I want to see the data that you pulled on me. You see what I'm saying? And that's valid. I'm like, okay, well, since I click terms and conditions and you pull this, like, can you show me the data that you have on me? And they couldn't do it. That's why they wound up. That's why they went searched. They went and searched everything. And so at the end of the day, he never got his data. He won his case, but he never got his data. So he has no clue what data is out there that's being sold across all these companies. He has no clue.
5,000
data
points.
That's
a lot. 5,000 data points.
That mean, I've been on Ancestry.com. That means you know my auntie Nim from back in,
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's 5,000 is a lot.
And then it hurt my soul because it was like, she started naming, she was like, yeah, this is why you're, and I want to work for Google. Like, I'm even in Atlanta where I can work for Google. She started naming, she was just like, oh yeah, it's $1 trillion. She was like, the reason why Amazon and Google and Facebook and Tesla, I love me some Tesla. I got stock, I'm got rich from Tesla, okay? And she was like, oh yeah, that's why they $1 trillion, because they got all your data and they just moving it. I was like, God dang.
Yeah.
And you know how many people use Amazon? Oh, God.
You can't get away from Amazon.
Oh, you cannot. Amazon, you got Amazon, Whole Foods. You know that I'm fucking
grocery shopping.
You know I'm eating the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Meat. God damn it.
No, seriously. You know what movies I'm watching and what TV shows I'm watching from Amazon Prime. Excuse me. Shout out to The Boys. It's talk
about that. It keeps popping up. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a watch later.
Yo's. All right, real quick. Think of it as, okay, here we go. So you're looking at,
it's superheroes.
Yeah, so look at the Marvel characters, all right? They're responsible superheroes, right?
Oh, okay.
So The Boys is like, it's literally like, if we were like, I'm a superhero, but I'm cocky about it. I know I'm a superhero. I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do whatever I want to do with it. It's like one of those things. But it's 8 episodes. Each episode is about an hour long, and there's no filter on anything. Believe me when I say no filter on anything. Anything. Yeah. Anything.
Probably Disney, because Disney, they a big one too. So they swirling around. Just think when you go to like, and it was like the animation that they were using in the documentary where he was swiping to get coffee and it was just showing the data going up. And
yeah.
I'm just like, imagine you like AMC movies, Regal movies, like truly think about everything you do. So people who think they got skeletons in their closet, bro, you really don't. The only difference is the closet door is open as shit. Like
wide open.
The cyber world is wide open, and somebody sees all the bullshit you doing, whether it's these nasty people with the pedophile, or people just jacking off, or people who just like weird dominatrix shit, or it could be you the next Martha Stewart, because you know how us black people do. We be like, yo, I had that same idea. You know how you be like, oh my God, I had that same idea. Somebody came out with the fucking idea and became a millionaire, like Poopery or some shit like that. somebody probably heard you, watched you click on some shit to put that shit together, got the data from somewhere. Boom. Like, it's not impossible now. Like, you really got to rethink. Like, you be like, okay, let me go. Well, I got to rethink how I'm going to click on this shit.
But if anybody, and this is a real test, if anybody were to create a business account on Facebook, because I've done this before, create a business account, and it don't even matter what you sell. It literally does not matter what you sell. All right, if you're trying to sell, I don't know, let's just elephants. First thing came to mind. You're trying to sell elephants to teenage girls. You can go to Facebook and it'll ask you, like, what's your target audience? Like, who are you trying to market to when you're trying to create an ad? And if you click, such and such, first of all, if you click females, it'll show you how many women, or at least how many people that selected women are on Facebook. Then you click, a certain age bracket, and then it'll show you how many people that you're, saying. Then you say, all right, well, I want to market to the African American women that like elephants, that happen to live in the southern part of the United States. Like, it gets that specific and shows you how many people you're going to market to.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yep.
But
that's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah.
Like I said, people, truly be careful about your data now. I'm pretty sure with this coming out, I know it's probably going to be more lawsuits, more conversation around it, but be mindful when you get in these apps and stuff to read the terms and conditions. Like, truly read the terms and conditions and see what they're sharing. And they say that, oh, we're not sharing your data, but why are you harvesting it? Like, that's the other thing. Like, right. Facebook is harvesting all your data. So at any given moment, they technically can sell that shit. Like, why can't, that's why I was like, that's like, even when the cloud came about, everybody's like, oh, the cloud. I'm like, bruh, y'all don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing can.
The cloud got hacked, and all those celebrities, all the pictures of, like, the celebrities and their selfies and naked selfies.
The cloud remembers every goddamn thing. Like, there is no delete. Now that there's a cloud that exists, there's no deleting nothing. So everybody with the little risky pics, you know what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, that shit ain't deleted.
Yeah.
That when you had that girlfriend and y'all made a video, it ain't deleted.
No, it's in there.
It's there.
It's saved forever.
Out the chat.
It's saved forever.
Let's go back to the goddamn VHS and shit, where you had to hide it in the closet or some shit, and you could just destroy it. Just saying. I had to live in a goddamn cave. Like, I want to find somebody. Who the hell? I need to know what data scientist is available to erase all my shit, just all of the shit, just everything. Just clean me off. Like, just don't even make a print for my ass on.
Yeah.
God, duh. I'm serious though. If there's a data scientist that listens to this, I'm trying to take everything off. I am down for the cause. I'm going into blackness.
Yeah, we will compensate you heavily.
Bruh. Shoot, you probably teach it to me, because hell, I know SQL and code. Hell, I do data all day, every day.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this is like, when you was talking a minute ago, like, this is really the fucking Matrix.
It really is. I tell you, those movies that they ahead of their time. Like, bruh, they are ahead of their time.
Matrix, like, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is really the damn Matrix.
Yeah.
God.
But yo, we gotta go ahead and wrap it up.
I have anxiety now. I need a therapy session.
Killing me.
I'm low-key serious though.
Joke of the week is me saying, hold up, and you saying, don't do that. I swear I'm gonna be laughing off that for about a good week and a half.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I lay to death, y'all. I swear I do. It's just.
When the hell did you graduate high school?
2010.
That's a fucking lie.
Huh?
That's a lie because you in your 30s.
Not 2002. For real. 2002.
Shut up. 2 years behind me. Shut up.
Oh boy.
See, we can always turn very serious conversation into a comical one.
We can.
Even though we're probably being recorded by Big Brother right now, and they probably sending some shit. I'm letting y'all know, I'm an Eastern Star. I will call people.
Oh my God, yo. Look, yo, I gotta go. My computer about to die in a minute. So
all right.
But I remember now. I fly to Chicago on Saturday. I know Big Brother listening, so I fly to Chicago on Saturday. So I'll be able to record in the closet as normal. Just letting you know, keeping your heads up.
For next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, yo, it's been real.
We'll have to talk about that offline. All right.
You are hilarious. Oh my God, yo. All right.
Until next time.
Yes, we will talk to you guys later.
Peace.